not here because they weren't racing here that period, but at Silverstone, he stood out somewhere like Beckett's, and he'd come through well on three wheels with the right front wheel up in the air as the race gets underway. Joe Bradley.
The red lights are out and into red gate goes that blue and white car 711. That's Guy Smith. I think that's second place this time. Jonathan Mitchell and Pete Smith, 170 and 712, scrobbling over third place as they head down the hill into the old hairpin for the first time. Looks like Guy's leading over the old hairpin, and thankfully, everybody making it through the old hairpin. It's always very easy to get caught out down there. Relatively cold tyres, remember, they're not quite up to temperature underneath these drivers, but already climbing the hill to Coppice. The highest point of circuit, Coppice, double apex right-hander, difficult corner because it's blind entry, so you have to turn in before you can actually see the corner. And Guy Smith, of course, well versed in that. He's won in this car, or one of the Smith family cars, before last year here at Donington. He knows the circuit well. And coming down, what is different this year, if you haven't had a look at the circuit map or had a walk around, we're using the Grand Prix loop this year, which has never been used before in the festival. Challenge for second at Fogarty's, as into second place goes Mr. Smith Senior. Into second place to join his son. I take it it's Peter who started the car. Well, we were told it was. Yes, as was yesterday. Yeah. And that was a great move down the inside of Richard Dunn. Richard Dunn in the white car with the red stripe down the side, the Lotus Cortina. And who's that in the Mini? Is that Brundle starting the car down the inside? And I think that's fourth place.
Loves that.
Jonathan Mitchell just went down. He's inside a red. I don't know how it's panning out.
They're driving you 17,
up towards
they're driving you 17.
Smith, 712, sideways. That was brilliant. Peter Smith got it so sideways on the bricks going into McLean's there, gathered it up in pure Ford Lotus Cortina style, I think. I think we'll probably find that's Harry Reynolds in the car, because... Is it more like Harry Reynolds to drive like that? Yeah, well, Harry Reynolds' father is Julian Reynolds. Julian Reynolds, very much a hot shoe in national rallying a number of years ago, and also did Rally GB as well. Very, very quick driver. And his son Harry now has started a racing career, so I wonder whether Harry just sort of harking back to his father's advice. Yeah, just put it sideways, put the power on, drift it round. I reckon Richard Dutton is closing in on that 712 car. It's what happened yesterday, isn't it? It's kind of settled down a little bit on this second lap. Guy Smith will lead into Goddard's. Reynolds in the number 712 is second, and we've got Lotus Cortina first to fourth, and then we are assuming or presuming that it's Alex Brundle. So across the line, Smith, Reynolds, Richard Dunn in the white with the red stripe. That is Karini Gregg, and it's the first of the non-Lotus Cortinas. Of course, the next other different car is the Ford Anglia in 10th place and doing really well. Yeah, the Mini up to 5th place with Alex Brundle. It wasn't up there at this stage of the race yesterday, so we're guessing up here really. We think we you were told that it was a shared car. Maybe Alex driving solo today. Maybe Steve Brown drove solo yesterday. Don't know. But Andrew Marriott will be down in the pit lane shortly, and maybe he can find out, or certainly towards the end of the race when they're coming into the pit lane, he'll be able to tell us. But whoever is driving that Mini, it's fantastic. And it takes you right back to this era, because of course the Minis and the Cortinas raced together in period, and the likes of John Rhodes and Gordon Spice, very quick in Minis in the early 60s up against the Cortinas.
Sorry to put in, but out of the Melbourne Loop, we've got a very slow-moving Lotus Cortina, car 13, which of course is the Max Lynn and Rowan Lundy car. Now that was right on the rear bumper of the Mini. If there is, then the marshals will have the slippery surface flag out. That could explain the way that that Cortina came out there.
Can't see anything on from this distance. There's no shiny line on the track, but and we'd be able to see the marshals post here, I think, waving. Yeah, they've got the yellow flag, but no slippery surface. So I think probably that's just a red herring. Meantime, back with the race, which continues. The Alpha has been pushed backwards by the marshals, and hopefully will recover to the track. I hope that lovely 115 series Alpha Giulia, and it's damaged. It's a beautiful car, but
it's been pushed out. It's on driver's right on the waved yellows into Goddard's, and Guy Smith is the first driver to see that errant white-coloured Alpha on driver's right as they come out of the hairpin. Hopefully everybody will behave themselves and respect that. Two marshals trying to push the car and struggling to do so. Meanwhile, the Pumas go through the
Yes, it's Alex Brunner in the Mini, definitely, and I'm just dropping down here to see what's happening with the Lotus Cortina, because Maxwell Lynn has bailed out of the car, takes his helmet off, and I will ask him what is the problem, and just having a discussion with his old schoolmate. Just a quickie, Alex, what's the problem?
We've had a few handling issues all weekend, but this was I just can't get first gear in a twin cam engine at the Melbourne Loop. Without first gear, we were losing about 5 seconds a lap, whilst we were bogging in second, trying to catch back up. So to save the engine, hours on the engine and everything, and before the gearbox decided to let go completely before we park it, and yeah, go again another day.
Thanks very much for that.
thank you, Andrew. 5, which is
Picks up its acceleration just as the end as the curve, whereas the Fords are kind of after it.
as they pull up at their pit box at the far end of the pit lane. Just going in
So
the
the guy
rigging
that's in
corner
front,
now. The
is
number
it because of
7,
a better
Paul
car?
Langley.
You like to think they're all very similar specs, but maybe certainly the way he's driving over to it's probably fine.
Well, I just think that he's with
It's so different.
he's definitely not in the car.
Is he in the race?
Yes, he is. I'll ask him if he's going to get in the car. He's coming over to me now.
Oh, good.
I suppose every little thing changes.
Yeah.
Well, Pete, it's going well. Are you going to get in it?
I'm going to leave him in it. I'm going to leave him out.
Good idea. Okay, there you go. Straight to the horse's mouth. Decisions on the hoof there.
Yeah, big ask to catch Guy Smith, isn't it? 5.3 seconds
Like
is
there's
Guy's
a video of
gap
Eddie Hall
now
talking
between
about,
first and second. The Smith
Mitch Hooper
family
about
owns
over
Cortinas
500 kilo, you know, how to
leading
get
this race
to it.
into
Because
Goddard.
if the
Out of
max
Goddard
now
comes
is
Guy
like
Smith,
475,
followed by
you're only
Reynolds.
needing to get another
Being
5%
kept out
or whatever.
on track, yet
Which
still
isn't,
early in the pit
percentage
window,
wise,
isn't it?
it's
To
not that
consider a
much. So
pit stop.
it's all the tiny things
Time.
that will add up to that
As
Big gains, isn't it? This is actually a apology. Apologise to the guy who beat.
To be fair, I don't think he realised he was doing it then. I think he was that quick.
That aggression.
Yeah.
We have to.
Like, he said he got like a science back. Not a hypnotherapist.
Pair of cars.
Someone to set his mind to
Not
that
exactly
amount
the
of
twilight
aggression
of his
all
career,
about
but
kilos.
he's
So he had
certainly
to turn someone in his
winning Le
mind.
Mans in 2003, being a works Bentley driver all those
Be able
years,
to actually
still
do it. So
at
if
the
he's
top
still
of his
got
game.
that,
Yeah, I haven't got a switch.
That's the way he threw him. 300 something odd pounds like that. He just threw him like
you can say what you want about it.
You've got to say, guys, because when they're going to the family career, guys racing in a number of different cars in the, well, then the American Le Mans series, and won lots of races there, driving with
Won the championship in 2011, Andrew.
yeah, and I've been driving with Chris Dyson
Thor did
because
501
they ran two cars
in his
and
own
they
gym, didn't they?
always the number 16, one of them, and they run various
And he attempted
rollers.
501 again in
Racing
competition recently.
Chris Dyson actually still racing and winning in the Trans Am series.
And then he cuts to Eddie Hall just
Still
smirking.
in historic racing.
Absolutely.
I remember Guy when he was back in his karting career when he was first starting out. There's the Hull Street race is one of the races I competed with Guy,
Because a lot of it.
and we had a quick
Done it in
stint.
training.
No, he didn't the other day. No, that's one of the
So I literally work when I come down here. There's another building. Where the stadium is there. Behind that. So I'm literally in a restaurant with a lot of people cars into it. And I saw the planes cars. I don't know. They
just so often just to get the planes.
things at once. And then you get this going on. Screaming at cars. No idea.
But there's more serious caravan racing. It was in Silverstone. We had caravan run. Oh, big caravans. That's all we need to know.
They used to set the caravan to handle
Yeah, of course we had truck races very big here back in the
That's so different.
But we've never had motorhome racing, to my knowledge.
Thanks, Andrew. We'll put that one on one side, I think.
Yeah.
Don't think about promoting that. You've promoted some excellent races in the past, but
You have to make a sandwich in the motorhome whilst somebody drives around during the race as well. and you're then marked on your sandwich. Anyway, we digress. There's a cracking race going on here that's been dominated by the legend that is Guy Smith, Le Mans
See
winner,
what Corner's
etc.
taking pictures, don't you?
Gap now.
The amount of near misses they get.
Back to Harry Reynolds in the sister car from as they see it, and he's got a bit of a gap of almost 6 seconds.
Starts accelerating.
And then on the ball. And the BMW
He's about 4 seconds in I noticed Andreas Halusa walking back through the infield to go under the tunnel back to the paddock. So you may have seen a racing driver walking along by those lovely E-types. Leader into the pits, Guy Smith into the pits for his mandatory stop. Will Harry Reynolds stay out? He will. The number 135 is a lap down. The number 135 just getting in behind the number 712 now, just heading towards Redgate. That's part of the where he is right now after the stop. So plus the time it takes to get in and out of the pits and the slowing down and speeding up, I would say that as you say, yes, he's a lap down, and the lap is about 1:52, so he's not quite on the pace of the others, but that will certainly, number 135 will come back into the reckoning as we get the Woods BMW coming in. Guy Smith has done his minute stop, and let's have a look. Carnival 135 the minimum time right down to 1 minute 20.4, so they were very, very close to the limit. There was 4:10 it was 1 minute 20, so around that, minute 15. Alright, I'm not 100% sure, but that's certainly a very, very good pit stop. But Guy Smith, 1 minute 21 pit stop, that's good. Smash him on the wall.
Now it's second.
That's a big change for a second day. I'm looking at his phone, he's like,
penalty sign against Harry Reynolds.
I says, well, there's 150 quid in tyres you'll have to pay.
Hazard a guess, it's a 5-second penalty.
I says, if you look at it, you haven't lost the money that you've earned this week. You're still going to get paid. You're just coming back for a day. They still hold on to
place.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of track limit penalties yesterday in this race. The result sheet. I was just talking to people it's 711's an unusual number, isn't it? Okay, it was a March Formula 1 car that was a 711 model. But this was to do with Pete racing when he was 71 years old, and then another race, so he made it 711.
Before he catches that BMW.
Well, yeah, that was 713. Yeah. 703s, which was running Formula 3 in 1970.
Yeah, 712.
Because they got to the 8 as well, but they only got to the 9.
Into the pit lane has come Harry Reynolds in the team you've been talking to.
To swap drivers or to sit in the pit.
And currently second place, and Richard Dutton down to third. But once again, I'm afraid Richard has got a penalty symbol. We saw this yesterday. That was for a short pit stop, although he said he didn't think it was short. But anyway, the timekeepers did, and he now has a penalty. So that's possibly tracking. It's not going to be for a short pit stop. No, he's yet to pit. So right,
There's 18 minutes left of this race.
Yeah, just look at Harry Reynolds. They just got under his belt and redid them again, tightened them up. And of course, he is Harry with an I, which is really quite sure why. But
He might be
we
named
found
after.
Julian. No, we find out why it's Harry with an I rather than a Y.
well, because he's Welsh.
Looks like he's going to be on the podium. All things are going the way they are at the moment.
The car that will effectively lead the field round, that's Jonathan Mitchell. Second is Richard Dutton.
Yeah,
They are the two drivers at the front of the field. That's still all.
So we should see a bit of that before we go. Yeah, so only 18 minutes left.
So both Dutton and Reynolds have a 5-second penalty
Because of the
added
rubber,
to their race time.
You know what I say?
Because of the race, they don't add it to their pit stop time, they add it to their race time.
Well,
Don't
the
say
bike
on
of the
my
bike
screen
are
what that's
uncle
for, but given that they haven't been into the pit lane yet,
they've been over
that
at
will be, well, Reynolds has, but as far as I know, his
They've had some silly
pit
cars.
stop time was fine. He was slightly quicker actually, 1:19.789, and that's in white, so that's cool.
Went to
Twice, where they exceed track limits.
In fact, I think
They're noted by the
took us
clerk
in the
of
car
course,
and we
and
bought
then
off him. They all
eventually they start to get penalties, and those penalties get bigger and bigger.
I decided to make a race. I decided to make a race where there wasn't really one to be had. But yeah, that was great fun. That was great fun. That little Mini, I was revving it for all it had. Cortinas are a little bit faster. We're a bit better in the corner for the first lap, so we could sort of send it around the outside and stuff. It was good.
Well, it was terrific stuff, and the commentators out in the box getting really excited.
Yeah, well, good. You see, I'm out here to help the commentators now, being one of my own. So hopefully I gave them something to be excited about.
The trouble is, you're too good at that.
Oh well, I don't know. I don't know why.
his car coming away. And it must be doing X about an hour, just laughing, saying, no, by the time we get on our side, we're gone.
Yeah, I understand. New to the car, yeah, he's been really good all weekend, so we should be good for a top 5 finish, which I, to be honest, it's kind of what I promised him at the beginning of the weekend, before I realised how fast the contingent 14 this would be, so I'm hoping we can say that. Excellent.
Thanks very much, guys.
That's easy. Always great to talk to a fellow commentator, Alex. Well done. You did entertain us. You're in the entertainment business now, mate. You kept that going. We've got the leaders in. Jonathan Mitchell and Richard Dunn are into the pits to serve their pit stop. This will mean that Guy
Smith,
4 seconds, and I seem to recall it was just over 5 before the pit stop. That's down to Harry Reynolds' pit stop.
Careful water on the outside, try that water. About 6 minutes.
Guy at 121 in the lane and Harry at 119. So good work from the team down there.
So are you here all day?
We expect because the two Mitchell was up.
You know what else decent on the weekend?
Going up to Leeds on Monday, aren't we? See the old Boss Parade. See the Boss Parade.
I don't know about doing old Woollen down Park.
Get as close to it as you can. So that's quite good to do. Obviously, it's the speed limit, but also how you accelerate out and so on.
Well, like on the bank holiday,
If you can get within a second of that set back there, you're doing well, and that's mainly down to the driver.
It's amazing what
Yeah,
actually goes
you're absolutely right, Andrew. We're watching them coming in here. They come out of Goddard, peel off to the left, and some of them seem to be going way too fast and approaching the white line that denotes the beginning of the pit lane, yet they're down to the speed. So, yeah.
That drive home.
It's on the hill going up on the outside of the corner, the inside of the circuit at Schwantz, and there is a yellow flag coming out on there with a green flag going up to Schwantz. Harry Reynolds, naughty boy, is up to 15 seconds penalties now. So he's been over the track limits again. First penalty is 5 seconds after, I think it's 3 strikes, then black and white flag, warning. And then the next strike is 5 seconds. The next one after that is 10 seconds.
I'll put a video of it on Facebook.
So it's now 15 seconds for him.
He's got 19 seconds.
Did you not mention this to me?
The next car,
It used to be used to compete.
has got 5 seconds. So he's going to drop to third.
Massively popular.
And if he can maintain that gap of over 15 seconds, he will finish third.
I get the feeling that Harry's thinking, yeah,
normally
track limits,
get-
yeah,
it's better to get like-
I'm one of these guys.
McLean. So
He's already identified every single car.
left-hander
I ain't got a clue what any of them are.
the car across to the left-hand side and returning to the right-hand of McLean.
No, I'm here, I don't really use the car.
Into the fog of the S's now, turning left and then right, coming up behind us from our vantage point down towards the Melbourne hairpin. And Guy looks like, I mean, that's a comfortable lead there. He's had that lead pretty much from lap 2 onwards. Let's see if Harry can just gain. They come out of the Melbourne hairpin there, and the car's just beginning to slide the rear end out, a bit of rotation in the car, charging up the slight incline to the Goddard's hairpin. And the gap was 1.7 as these cars come out of the final turn and then head across the line. Let's see what the gap is now and see if Harry Reynolds is indeed catching race leader. No, it's 1.9. So that lock up in the McLean is a sign maybe. But
pit lane speeding. So Andrew was talking about the driving.
And you really work that
both got drive through penalties because they've been speeding in the pit lane. So they had to come in and drive through the pits at the minimum, or the maximum, sorry, below the maximum speed, of course. Time, 16 laps have been completed by
Jonathan doesn't have to push him, remember, we've got 5 seconds to add to Richard's time. So effectively Jonathan Mitchell following him through. I don't know whether if in any way that he can be aware of that or be informed of that from a pit board. There's a lot of information to give there.
The marshals will have put a sign out at the start.
Whether he sees it or not, though, that's the thing. It's hard to read that. All of
It's got that verse.
Flash by at 80, 90 miles an hour. The leaders go through. Gap was 1.9 down to 2.7, so Guy Smith has responded in 5 second penalty. So whether or not Jonathan Mitchell is aware of that, no, he needs to do and just half a second. Which is quicker than anybody else. So Richard's team, I don't know whether he's got the Fortec people running his car. Richard's race team is Fortec Motorsport, which runs young drivers. That's white, so it's legal pit stop. And so it's 1:15 yesterday, somewhere between those two. What they're aiming for. Still the drive-throughs to be done by these two cars. I haven't noticed them come in. They've got 5 minutes to do that, Alistair. 5 minutes of race time remaining. The solid drive by this car is just about at the moment. Yesterday afternoon, about 5 o'clock, he started from the pole and went on to take the race win. Exactly. car with the red stripe of Richard Dutton, Jonathan Mitchell in the white, well, a cream coloured, isn't it? That's it. Did Ford have a name for that creamy white colour?
And into the pit lane for the drive-through comes number 17. Race has 3.5 worked really hard for the last 40 minutes or so, 38 minutes, 2.5 minutes remaining. Alex Brundle have now acquired a 5-second penalty. And I can only with you. If you have information what the penalty for, for the drive-through comes number 5, just getting that in before the race finishes. The Alpha going through, Christian Van Landschot. That's for pit lane speeding. The other penalty will be added early. Was the Van Landschot Alpha, so I think it's likely that the number 8 is crosses the line to complete another one. And Guy Smith puts in a 1 minute 52.6. That is 1:53. And a great back and forth on the road for third place, and it's pretty much like this for the whole race. Richard Dutton really hasn't done a great job on Mitchell. He did get past Harley ahead of Richard, but he's got it back. Added, and that will lose him third place to Jonathan Mitchell. The 135 Cortina that Joe mentioned Brown Mini, and 135 now in 5th place, Brundle Brown in 6th place, just crossing the line now. Guy Smith races them.
of our untypically touring car races of the weekend.
That's his
Second
response.
place goes
Which is
to
called
Harry Reynolds, who
fiddlesticks.
drove solo nice today.
When you can hang on to literally the shirt tails of a driver like Guy Smith, then you don't do it.
Went go-kart,
Good for some infringement out there during that race. He will still retain that second place podium finish. Jonathan Mitchell has just gone through. Next car we wait for is number 5, which is a bit of a way back.
Few go-karting last year. There was me, our lads. A few go-karting. There was 4 or 5 young lads, all like Theo's age and what have you. And they were coming and they brought their own helmets and stuff and acting like the cocky what have you. She's only been driving 2 years. She's not a small girl, put it this way, you know what I mean? And we're going through that towards the end and calling names out to see when they finished and what have you. And we started calling out these old names and stuff, and there was lads like nodding and stuff. And we were like, just why are they doing that race? It's like 9 hours racing, I don't know these lads' names. I'll ask him like 4th, it's like, how do you like the old stuff up for it? It's like, yeah, you're all good. Just got beat by a woman, we're sort of been driving like 2 minutes. It's like,
Technique to it, I haven't found it, so.
alright.
Not the first time with me. Not my first rodeo here. Are you good for a sausage sandwich or whatever it was? That might be. Very nice.
What's he doing there? These two, is it?
Yeah, so these company, based in Scotland.
Yeah.
Does have a sales office in Sheffield. But I've worked with Donington and that's the Dockers and Andy Mudd and all that lot. Well, since the place opened.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so that's somebody started before that. At least. Yeah, I've been in the industry for about, where are we now? 15 years.
Which centre sells the most cars?
We don't sell cars through Aston Barclays, all our cars go through BTA. It's not me, so obviously it was Leeds before.
What's that?
But I've gone to all sites when I was cars as well.
Some of your cars go through it.
Yeah, there might be a storage. We all our cars go to BCA, but there might be BCA might be bringing them in. I don't know. But they're sold direct to BCA. BCA might sell them.
Well, 2 out of 2.
Yeah, no, it's great fun. Again, another good race. Nice to have Harry racing with Harry, who's been helping for a little while through karts and into car racing. And you mentioned about his helmet. Actually, it's a little bit like my old helmet. So I know this young man, he did a really good job. Good for him to race him.
Well done to Guy. Harry, congratulations. You're putting a bit of pressure on him, but I think you had a 5-second track limit, so it didn't really matter.
No, we luckily got away a bit, being Guy. I tried to put pressure on him, but I think he can handle it. He's done enough good racing to be able to take the pressure, but I did what I could, and I enjoyed it so much. These cars were amazing.
I'll leave the door open.
Yeah, I've been on a couple of car podiums.
It's for tomorrow. It's the P. Yeah.
So we haven't got everything there. We're going to want to get Jonathan Mitchell to get his helmet off. And then we're going to want to show who's presenting the awards.
And just pull that down.
Yeah, just alter the code,
Yeah.
when I leave.
So yeah, tonight you'll leave after us, so put the key back in. Yeah. Tomorrow, take it. We get.
No, right, okay, yeah.
But just make sure it's left nice and tidy. Like.
Yeah,
I'll leave the key up here.
Cheers. Terrific battle is Richard Dutt now. I'm way aware that he's got another penalty. Excellent, well, let's get you all on the podium. So, Jonathan, on the having a terrific weekend.
Happy days.
Didn't see them in
Harry Reynolds gets onto the podium in second place, forward Genetic Junior driver. And also, of course, from Yorkshire, the former of all winner himself, Peter Guy Smith. Guy Smith wins to make it 2-2 in the championship.
Are you going live all day?
No.
What are you doing now?
Oh no.
Nothing going on. What video is it?
Are you actually live, are you? Food recording.
Has anyone actually watched it?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to talk to him? Why not?
I don't know.
You don't know? Yeah, I could host it, couldn't I? Talk to you.
That boxing license?
Hmm?
Did you do that boxing license? Loads of streaming. Yeah, loads of YouTube. Was that something
Not yet, not yet. Leo.
Not yet, not
I
yet.
wouldn't be working if you had 1,000 subscribers. I wouldn't be working. Living off beer.
I'm his manager.
That's another half a day. It's probably sunk into the grass.
Just a big pile of Ross now. Just on and rush. Some more alpha that's coming out. See if you can get one.
I'm going to walk around. Some nice old markers there, silver. Just right living there, markers. Wooden chassis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, wooden chassis, yeah, quite. They changed the later on, they've got a steel chassis. Usually they're wooden chassis.
Alright.
With a fiberglass body. I see a short.
It might be over there, because when I was used to park my mini up when I was resting the hair with, you better get up for me. That's not mine. Maybe a free when I raced and repeated, that's suggested it might be a bit and get him a load of grief for polishing his car too much. I can't polish it. No! Absolutely killed him in the morning when he went home.
We went to the pub North Yorkshire called Carpenter's Arms. We went for my birthday a few years back. It's really country boffin type place. Really nice food, great people. We stayed over, we were pulled in, when Louise had a box on Alaska, we were pulled in the car park in this big box on Alaska. It's like Range Rover, TVR, alright. Do you think we're a bit out of his depth here? Can you shut the door and it comes back open?
One of the dealerships I worked at in Jersey had the Aston Martin franchise. I blagged my boss that I could take an AMV8 home for the weekend if I sold 3 cars. And he was like, yeah, of course you can. And he was a really good boss, probably the best boss I've ever had. And I'd done 2. And by the end of the day, I'd just gone over and just said to my driver. And they were ringing him up going, he's just not going over here. On swings one fun. So I failed, you know. Yeah, I've tried that, so go on, take me out, let's go for the weekend. Worst thing I've ever done. It was horrible.
There we go.
And Joe, the big thing was all the manufacturers were heavily invested in that.
Perhaps quite a rare. Then got the Bastos livery BMW called. Now the significant car that is out there, the Alfa Romeo. This is the car that is free from the regulations where they came in.
So fast.
Alfa Romeo were quite crafty, and they brought in aerodynamics that was changed on this one. With the rear wing remarkably was detachable of the car and kept it in your boot. Barrel rolling to oblivion coming out of double pins. from the British series. We have them from pretty much all over the world.
I get to tell you all about this voices of demo. I'm running a demo. You doing 10 miles an hour.
1995. What I was telling is the name on the door, and this was it. They ran it for 1 year. It's running here at Donington Park, and it's already on now on the service plan. One of the things there is side there. And did only go through the best one was Cyprus. Have you ever heard of, I've got a list of race circuits that I've been to, and they start off with A, I think Assen, or maybe Aintree, and finish up there. Most people, if they try to do that, and they got to Z, they go Zandvoort or Zolder, but I went to Zweibrücken, so that was the bottom, and it was a little airfield circuit, and somebody... I can't do that. You made a lot of money from that gig. Yeah. I got some of the winners. I must have and the Audi certainly did very well in it. Well, I remember the Audi drivers would have been Pirro. Emmanuel Pirro went on to win Le Mans several times. I think Frank Wheeler. get something ridiculous like that?
It went crazy, and I think the economy dipped as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But